Shocking news today. Pope Francis, the beloved and influential leader of the Catholic Church, has passed away at the age of 88. His sudden departure has left the world in disbelief. What exactly led to his unexpected decline, and how did it happen so quickly? From his last public appearance to the rapid turn of events that followed, we'll dive deep into the details of what transpired in his final days. This is a story that has rocked not just the Catholic community but the entire world. Stay with us as we explore how the Pope's passing is impacting both the Church and global affairs. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss any updates on this unfolding story. Pope Francis, born Jorge Mario Bergoglio in Buenos Aires, Argentina, became the first non-European pope in over a millennium. Known for his progressive views on social justice, climate change, and poverty, he was beloved by millions across the globe. However, in recent years, Pope Francis had faced health challenges that sparked concern among his followers. For the past few months, reports surfaced about his mobility issues, with the Pope occasionally using a wheelchair for public events due to knee pain and arthritis. Despite these struggles, he continued to make his public appearances, offering messages of peace and unity. But on the 20th of April, 2025, something changed. On Easter Sunday, Pope Francis made what would turn out to be his final public appearance. He was seen addressing a small crowd at the Vatican, looking weak but determined, as always. His speech was emotional, focused on peace, unity, and care for the most vulnerable. But even as he spoke, those close to him noticed that something seemed off. His speech was shorter than usual, and he appeared more fatigued than in past appearances. For those in the know, this was a worrying sign. His health had been steadily declining. Little did anyone realize that just a few hours later, he would fall gravely ill. That evening, Pope Francis suddenly fell ill. He was rushed to the hospital after experiencing severe chest pain and shortness of breath. Initial reports were vague, with the Vatican only saying that it was a serious health incident. By the next morning, word spread that the Pope's condition had worsened rapidly. Doctors worked around the clock to stabilize him, but despite their efforts, Pope Francis's health continued to deteriorate. It was clear that this wasn't just a temporary setback, it was the beginning of his final days. As news of the Pope's condition spread, millions across the world began to pray for his recovery. But only a day later, the Vatican confirmed the worst. Pope Francis had passed away quietly in his sleep. His sudden death left the world in shock. The world was rocked by the news of Pope Francis's passing. World leaders, from President Joe Biden to the United Nations, offered heartfelt tributes to the late Pope. His leadership had transcended religion, and people from all walks of life mourned his loss. In a statement, President Biden said, "Pope Francis was a man of the people, a force for good who devoted his life to serving the world's poor and promoting peace. He was an inspiration to all." Leaders from across Europe and South America echoed similar sentiments, acknowledging his influence on global issues and his unwavering faith in humanity. Within hours of Pope Francis's passing, the Vatican went into action, preparing for a funeral unlike any other. Pope Francis had requested a simple, no-frill ceremony, reflecting his humble lifestyle. Yet, the Vatican made sure to honor his legacy with grand but respectful farewell. Plans were quickly made for his funeral mass, to be held in St. Peter's Square. The Vatican announced that thousands of faithful would gather to pay their respects, and a public viewing would be set up for those who wanted to say goodbye. One of the most significant decisions was his burial place. Pope Francis had chosen a more unconventional resting place, not in the grand tombs of his predecessors, but at the Basilica of Santa Maria Maggiore in Rome, where his deep faith had first led him. This choice spoke to his love for simplicity and the idea of being close to the people. With the death of Pope Francis, the Catholic Church now faces a daunting task of selecting a new leader. This process, known as the Papal Conclave, is shrouded in mystery. Only cardinals, the senior members of the clergy, are allowed to participate, and their votes are cast in secrecy. The conclave will begin shortly, and there is much speculation about who will be the next pope. Will the Church continue down the progressive path set by Pope Francis, or will it take a more conservative turn? As the world waits for the next pope to be chosen, the Vatican has already begun to prepare for the future of the Church, which is facing many challenges, from declining attendance in some areas to the ongoing conversation about the role of women in the clergy. Pope Francis's passing has left a profound void in the heart of the Catholic Church and the world at large. His commitment to the values of compassion, humility, and progressiveness reshaped the Church's approach to contemporary issues. His advocacy for the poor, the marginalized, and the oppressed will continue to resonate deeply, inspiring millions for generations to come. As we reflect on his remarkable life, we remember a man who was not only a spiritual leader but also a force for positive change. His teachings on love, justice, and mercy are imprinted in the hearts of those he touched. His legacy, one of inclusivity and service, will undoubtedly live on. However, the Church now stands at a pivotal crossroads. With his passing, a new chapter begins, one that will define the future direction of the Catholic faith. As we await the election of the next pope, the world watches closely, wondering who will step into his shoes and what path they will take. Pope Francis's legacy sets a high bar, but the future of the Church will depend on how its leaders move forward in a rapidly changing world. As we continue to honor his memory, let's keep his vision alive through our actions and commitment to justice and compassion. What do you think the future holds for the Church? Who do you believe will be the next pope to lead this historic institution? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. And, of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more updates on this monumental story. Stay with us as we cover the latest developments and what comes next for the Catholic Church in this new era.